Welcome to Let's Chat About That. This week we are going to tackle the topic of xenophobia in Cambodia. I'd like to unpack how situations of crisis can drive people to discriminatory acts, and how history weaves a pattern in this unfortunate societal phenomenon. There is often panic and ignorance in the wave of crisis. People are scared and act and react based on this feeling. Economies suffer, families are tested, and the reality of loss is revealed. It is during this time that humanity is seen at their most vulnerable. This can show the compassion in individuals and the power of empathetic acts, as well as the resilience of communities and countries. In some cases, crises bring people together. Individuals living through global upsets often want to establish a feeling of comfort, gain control of the situation, and have an assuredness of their safety. Though these desires are fairly consistent across the board, the way in which they are sought after can be extremely polarizing worldwide. Though some seek this through closeness, cooperation, and kindness, others attempt to gain these securities through separation and discrimination. The latter is what leads to xenophobia, the fear and hatred of or prejudice against foreigners or other people from other countries. Xenophobia is sadly not a new phenomenon. This type of unjust treatment has been a part of human society since the dawn of time. The fear of differences and rejection of the unknown must be ingrained into our human makeup. Though these instincts can manifest in healthy ways, often racism and discrimination arise instead. Examples of xenophobia mark our global history. Institutionalized racism and hierarchical structures such as the caste system and slavery were early acts to marginalize and suppress foreigners. Ethnic groups have been targeted, harassed, and had their reputations falsely damaged countless times within the past century alone. There have been mass genocides like the Holocaust, the ethnic cleansing of Tutsi in Rwanda, and the systematic killing of Native Americans in the United States. These horrid acts of racism have all been driven by one common feeling: fear. Whether it was the fear of cultural differences, religious perspectives, disease, or power, every heinous act was committed out of this desire for comfort, safety, or security. Cambodia and across the globe, this cyclical process still happens today. The widespread distaste towards Vietnamese majorly stems from the war in the 70s. The ripple effects from the violence and separation that occurred in the past has shown its effect on current Vietnamese immigrants in Cambodia. It is far from uncommon to witness strategic, systematic, and downright violent removal or displacement of immigrants. Situations are fabricated to put Vietnamese immigrants in bad lighting, often related to environmental or livelihood-related issues. The country's ruling party, Cambodian People's Party, has proven countless times to be outspokenly anti-Vietnamese as well. Though the incentives behind each act of xenophobia here vary, a common thread still is fear. In the root cause of this issue, there lies fear surrounding past memories and losses from the war. May it be the worry of repetition of the effects, or residual anger. This distrust and dislike of this ethnic group is a defense mechanism. As seen too in the current day, this instinct may arise from threats to livelihood, health, or even their norms. Xenophobia, like the anti-Vietnamese sentiment that's running through Cambodia, has recently reached high new levels as it is faced with a rare crossroads, a pandemic. Across the globe, people of all ages, races, and ethnic makeups are being plagued by the COVID-19 virus. Emerging from Wuhan, China, individuals of Asian descent are being targeted at extreme rates during this time. Innocent people are being harassed, put down, and excluded from daily lives. Though the virus is very contagious and has proven to be deadly in some cases, there is absolutely no excuse for this type of outright racism. Many Asians have reported feeling like a walking pathogen during this time. A Malaysian Chinese social worker had a similar experience while in London when she was asked why Chinese people eat weird food when they know it, quote, causes viruses. Another case of discrimination occurred in Canada when Chinese children were found being singled out and bullied at a school. Both of these cases have unfortunately not been that rare across the world these days. Innocent citizens are being framed as major health threats to the general public. This uninformed viewpoint has caused so much pain and hardship for millions of individuals. This type of treatment shows great resemblance to the racist acts that occurred during our country's recent past. The term yellow peril was a derogatory term used to target people of Asian descent. These innocent people were unjustly framed to be threats to the Western world. Seeing this sentiment reemerge during our current global crisis is extremely upsetting. Headlines such as Yellow Alert and A New Yellow Peril have been circling the globe, causing panic and widespread discrimination. Seen all over the world are instances of xenophobia. Many businesses, including restaurants and hotels, have been seen turning away any person of Asian descent during this time. Asian food restaurants have been struggling. They have suffered from a lack of business. People are uninformed about the causes of the disease and thus act in these ignorant ways, causing livelihoods to suffer. Coronavirus crisis has bled into the way in which people treat their neighbors. Sadly enough, the fear of the disease has pushed too many people to commit racist acts and marginalize millions of people. Xenophobia and discrimination goes beyond cities and states. It goes beyond countries and even continents. This behavior is currently occurring in neighborhoods, in the government, and all throughout the media. Though yes, there is fear and there is loss at this time, there is no excuse for unjust treatment. No matter one's race, one's hometown, dietary norms, chosen religion, every human on earth deserves the opportunity to grocery shop, order takeout, or just patron a park at their free will. This time calls for human compassion, informed decision-making, and a way of living that best fills the personal needs of yourself while not compromising the well-being of those around you. Please be kind and patient during these strange days. Try to enjoy the sunshine when she's awake. Cherish the company of those you're surrounded by. And most importantly, love yourself. Thanks for listening. Let's chat next week.